All right, all right, all right. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? My name is Pete, but you probably already knew that. And you guys are watching Paid to Drive, but more specifically, this is the Driver's Den, episode 13. And if you guys don't know the deal, well, I got two awesome co-hosts. We got all the way down from Florida. We got UDM. UDM, say what's up.
Well, correction. I'm in Florida, not from Florida. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up?
You know what I mean.
Don't roll your eyes at me.
and we got somebody else from the other side of the country. Hey, Tony, where are you from?
Just so Hold on, everybody. I am Tony from Team LMDU, and I am from California.
There we go.
So now you guys teasing me, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say we gotta keep it lively now. So anyway, listen, this is definitely a very, very touchy subject right now. This whole DoorDash thing, this lawsuit, it's the hot topic right now. We've all been talking about it, making videos about it, but you know, what a better perfect place than to do it right here on the Driver's Den. So I mean, before we really dive in, you know, super deep, is there anything that, you know, UDM or Tony, do you guys want to throw in? Just anything that, like, you know, in related to this that you want to put out there before we jump into anything else?
Go ahead, Tony.
I just think what they're doing with their taking the tips to subsidize the guarantee, that's just horrible, deplorable. They're not looking out for their drivers, and that's just disgusting. One of the reasons why I don't do DoorDash that much anymore or at all, you know,
which is very ironic, right? Because of the Lyft My DoorDash and Uber. It's, imagine, maybe it was a good sign that you changed your username.
There was a time when DoorDash was awesome land to be in, but yeah, not so much anymore.
Yeah, it's too bad. God, UDM, go for it.
Well, I remember when I did the Dash Along. When I did the Dash Along, I asked about, you know, keeping the tip. I'm not a tip. I'm sorry.
Keep that tip.
Keeping the receipt. And I was told by a lot of Dashers that were watching me at the time, like, no. Don't give the customer the receipt. Don't do it because of whatever the reason why, whatever the reason was. But it was like, why not? You know, and it's like that made me wonder back then, like, this is some kind of shady stuff going on here.
But the UDM, it's been going on for quite a while, because back when I was like 2-3 years ago when I signed up, they were telling us that back then too. It's been going on.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, that is not something I remember, guys. I just got on DoorDash. You know, yeah. I did not know any of this stuff, man.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it's just very disheartening. And you know, like DoorDash came to my particular market in like late 2017, and people were jumping all over it when it first came here. And I'll tell you right now, the first thing that I noticed that rubbed me the wrong way was the fact that every restaurant in my entire market, I mean, literally every restaurant you could think of, all the way down to like a grocery store, like a small little grocery store, was on DoorDash, on the app. And I said, how the hell is that possible? This just launched. You're trying to tell me they had contracts with everybody already? So then later on, I found out that's how it works, where there's some places that are directly partnered, and then you have to use that red card, that red debit card for everything. So I'm like, so wait, so people can order food from restaurants that don't even know that food is being ordered from. And then when people were like, yeah, that's kind of how it works, I'm like, that's both crazy and a good idea and a bad idea at the same time. And I'm just like, something ain't right with that. I feel like something is going to get screwed up along the line somehow, you know? So just off of my own experience, just hearing that and seeing that, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this company. But then, you know, fast forward a year or so, DoorDash is killing it, you know, out there with sales and profits or whatever you want to call it. And there's a ton of people delivering for them. And you know, I kept running into drivers in my area when I was out doing GrubHub or whenever I was out doing them, you know, Uber Eats. I would constantly be bumping into DoorDash drivers, and I would always ask, "Hey, how do you like it? How do you like the look?" "Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty busy," or whatever. And then later on, we come to find out more and more and more that they're doing these like shady practices, you know. And it just kind of, it always rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know how it was for you guys and for everyone in the chat, you know.
Yeah, it was like to a point where like before, yeah, you were just like a customer walking up, buying something, you know. That's how it was. And I think I've heard of restaurants now though, if they're on the thing against their will or whatever, I'm hearing if they see that red card or see your bag, they're gonna turn you away. I heard some places.
And Mr. Kulu said something interesting here. He said the payout was good back then. You know, I've heard a lot of drivers say things like they used to pay us like $15 guarantee or something like that per order, and then it dropped way down to 6 or 7 or even lower than that.
Right.
And I'm like, what? Like typically when a company is trying to get drivers, of course they're going to promote, they're going to offer this, they're going to offer that. But then it's like, that's a damn big behind cut. If you think what I'm saying, it's like from 15 to like 6.
UDM, when I was a new driver for quite a while, they were offering me, they were guaranteeing me $15 an hour between certain hours to be online to accept certain orders. And that after a while, that went away.
I'm telling you, you know, and it just, you know, it's like, it's exactly what UDM was saying. It's like when something is brand new and glamorous, they're going to do whatever they can to make it seem that much more glamorous than what it is. And, you know, then what was it, about 6 months ago was when that website No Tip DoorDash came out. NoTipDoorDash.com came out, and it blew everyone's minds. I remember making a video about it 6 months ago.
Whoa. NoTipDoorDash.com?
Yeah, man. You don't remember that
website?
I heard of that. Yeah, I heard of that.
I have been out of the loop.
Yeah, I guess everyone missed that one.
I'm looking it up now. Go ahead. Say what you said.
Yeah, go look at it. And it's the exact breakdown that the article that Delivery Driver Pit Stop, who I believe is in here. What's up, Michael? He posted that link. It's the exact same information explaining how DoorDash is substituting customers' tips for the delivery fee so that DoorDash doesn't have to dish out money out of their own pocket as much. You know what I mean? It's like, let the customer cover the whole expense, you know, which I guess is understandable to an extent. And supposedly it's in their terms of service, but it's just a shady practice because to my knowledge, again, I'm not a dasher. To my knowledge, they had somewhere listed saying that the driver gets 100% of the tips. That's what I heard. Again, like, that's why I don't know.
Well, at the end of it all, with that lingo, I should say, it's kind of exactly what's being said or what's being done. The driver gets 100% of the tip, but what's not being said to the customer is, we're going to use your tip to pay our drivers. You know, it's like, what? Hold up. Before I did any dash, I ordered from DoorDash to see what it was going to be like, you know, and how long the driver was going to take and all of that stuff. And it was a great experience for me. And even though I was hearing all these different things like, you know, oh, they pay you with your tips, that's one of the reasons why I gave the dasher a cash tip. And then she went above and beyond. I gave her even more. But I was like, damn, if I were to tip in the app, I would have felt like crap, because at the end of the day, it's like, this person, I know how far the restaurant was that she picked up from, but I would have been mad as hell to know that my tip went to her total payment, you know, or whatever. My tip went to her payment, I should say, instead of them being paid like $1. That just sucked, man.
Is it safe to assume that maybe DoorDash is like it's Uber-esque treatment of their drivers, like how Uber kind of sticks it to their driver? I guess maybe it's safe to assume DoorDash is starting to do things to their drivers.
I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not a dasher, but I would want to say no, because, you know, I mean, if you think about it, you know, Instacart just got reamed for this whole thing. Like not even, all within like a week or whatever, all this stuff blew up, you know?
Yeah.
And you would think after what happened with them, because now Instacart, if, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that Instacart was like forced to now return all the money back to the drivers that they took or something, you know? Yes. And which, in my opinion, I think is great. Now justice is served. But with that being said, DoorDash and Postmates, who both have the same business model or very close, I don't want to say the same, but similar business models, they decided to say, nah, we're not going to change a thing. We're going to keep it exactly how we got it. We stand behind our business model. And then boom, dude, I'm telling you, karma's real, man. I'm telling you, you don't.
I watched an interview about Postmates. What's his name? Was the owner's name? I forgot his name. Whatever his name is. He said that, yeah, when they first started up, they did things like that, like, you know, they went to different restaurants, they got their menu, put it on their website, and restaurants back then was like, hey, you know, that's my menu, you need to pull that down, right? But over time, they showed restaurants the amount of business they were getting for the restaurant, and that's how it caused them to create partnerships. So, you know, I think that's the way that they're doing it. It kind of is shady, but it causes them to get partnerships, and restaurants are realizing that as well.
Right, exactly. And to kind of piggyback what Michael posted today on the Delivery Driver Pit Stop. By the way, congratulations on 300 subscribers. You know, I just wanted to say thank you again for that. Anyway, he mentioned in that article that Postmates, you know, and DoorDash, people that were getting put on the app that didn't want to be on there, were calling up DoorDash and Postmates saying like, hey, can you take my restaurant off your app, please? I do not want to do business with you guys. And they're like, sorry, there's no one you can talk to about that. Like, they kept getting hung up on. Like, that's insanity. Like, that's like they should have like a consumer, you know, customer relations department or something, you know.
Postmates?
Postmates too. Yeah, they were both. If you watch the new video from Delivery Driver Pit Stop, he goes over all of it, and I was like, dude, how could they be like this? Like, you're a gigantic company, both of them. You know what I mean? Like, and you have owners of restaurants kindly calling up, or maybe not so kindly, asking, please, can you remove us from your app? We don't want to be on there because we have drivers showing up with bags ready to get orders that we don't even know about. And then if the driver screws up, it falls on the restaurant, and the restaurant's like, I didn't even want to do that order to begin with. You know what I mean? I think every single restaurant should always be a contract to contract basis. None of this like surprising menu stuff, you know? It's just, it's super shady. And like, that was the very first impression I got of DoorDash, and it wasn't a good one when it hit my area. And I was like, what? How are they getting away with that? So I don't know. I've never been okay with it. What do you guys?
But it goes back to, like I said, I have heard that some restaurants, if they know it's a dasher and they're not down for it, they're like, get out, peace, get out, man.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I never had that experience. But I will say that I do feel like, you know, DoorDash, they need to pay their drivers better, or have a better model on how something that's clear and clear for drivers to read and for customers to read, and everyone to be okay with how they pay drivers. But DoorDash is, I still gotta respect DoorDash, man. People might call it door trash, and I will say, in business, in anything that you start up, it's always gonna be some kind of loophole. Someone is gonna try to jump right through to blow up. You know, and when I say blow up, I mean get big as quickly as possible. You know, and DoorDash did a lot of shady things, and look at where they're at.
Right.
You know, and I feel like they are a great company. It's just the way that they're paying drivers is wrong. You know, I'll say this last thing, and I'll give the floor back to you guys. But DoorDash, comparing it to Uber Eats, when I did Uber Eats full time, the few payouts I've received on DoorDash, they are literally better than Uber Eats. Uber Eats, I got a lot more orders, but DoorDash, the payouts are better. Right. So I understand why some dashers will still look at the payout like, well, at least I'm still being paid more than this, you know? So that's it.
Well, you mentioned about the payouts. I mean, that makes sense because Uber Eats has never been known, you know, for the great payouts. But yes, there's a lot of volume. What are some other things, UDM personally, since you know you do enjoy DoorDash? What are some of maybe the other things that you like about them personally? What other things intrigued you?
Okay, well, so far I've only done about 3 dashes. Okay. What I do like so far is I have not tested the support, but I mean, I didn't write a list down, Pete.
Just off the top of your head, I don't know, anything you think of.
So far, I like the payouts. The payouts are okay to me. It's just the way they're paying people I don't agree with, you know, and that's me as a customer speaking, you know, not necessarily me as a driver. If I did not know about all this stuff, I would look at the payouts like, they're pretty decent compared to what I'm used to at Uber Eats. Right. $3. $3.90, $4, maybe $5 a trip, you know. On DoorDash is like maybe minimum that I've received so far is $6, you know, $7, $10. It doesn't go over that. I haven't seen anything over 10, but you know, still, that's all I got so far. I like the platform. I like how everything is easy on the app, but the pay, man, I keep going right back to that.
Now that's what I was, as you were saying that, I was waiting for you to say the highest I got was 10 and I didn't notice anything over 10. That was another thing that was spoken about. Again, I'm coming from the fact of things that I've heard and things that I've read. Supposedly that was the cutoff, was that $10 was where the tip, you know, like if the customer tipped like $15 or something like that, you know, the $10 from the tip went to pay the driver, and then the additional $5 or whatever went to DoorDash themselves. So like,
whoa, that's a part I'm missing.
Yeah,
you're saying if a customer tipped $15,
yeah,
and the guaranteed payout is 10.
Yes,
the dasher will receive $10,
right,
or maybe $9 of that tip, and $1 from DoorDash for the base pay. And the rest will go to DoorDash from the tip?
This is what I got from that notipdoordash.com website. Yeah, see, Tony knows what I'm talking about. And this is what I was saying. And I'm like, why would you, how could you limit to $10? You know, so they're basically saying, hey, just so you know, the most you're gonna make an hour is $20, which is still pretty good. But if you're thinking of making anything more than $20 an hour, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, but by doing 2 orders on average per hour. Exactly. It says it all on notipdoordash.com. It has everything beautifully broken down, and it's messed up, man. And this is what I was talking about. You know.
Now the thing I like about DoorDash in my markets, I'm still able to make 14 to 16 an hour. For my experience. And what I don't like is, you know, how they just mess with you the whole time, micromanage. That's the bad thing, you know.
Yeah, it's clearly, you know, exactly like Tony was saying, it's a clear violation, you know, and taking advantage of, you know, of drivers. And again, you know, that, and how this came to fruition, how this found out was, you know, drivers were talking with customers, and they were like, hey, you know, I gave you a $10 tip, you know, did you get that? And it's just like, oh yeah, no, I got the $10. But you know, it's just like, but that's the delivery fee and this, that, you know, the mileage or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, so shouldn't it be like $10 plus? You know, it's just very confusing. But it's essentially DoorDash it was just pocketing the rest for themselves. They were like, well, we guaranteed you 10, so you know, we're gonna keep the rest. And it's like, it's wrong. That tip money goes towards the driver's effort of going out and doing the job. That's what it comes down to.
Funny thing.
Sorry, Tony. I just want to say something to KD Kominga in the chat. They said, I get over 10 all the time. I just want to say this, that every market is different. Just like I receive a $9 guarantee on GrubHub, hourly guarantee, and Tony receives how much, Tony?
Between 14 and 16, and I can still pull off, you know?
Right. You know, so depending on the market, it can cause, you're going to have a cap in each market. Your market might be a lot, maybe a couple dollars extra. So I don't know how much, how much do you get paid guarantee in your market, Pete? Ain't like $12.50 or something?
Mine is 12.
12. You know, and mine down here is 9. You know, so it just depends on the market. So go ahead.
Funny story. About 2 weeks ago, I delivered a GrubHub order to a customer, and she hands me. There was a little bit of a tip on the app, but she hands me like $10 cash and goes, "I know what they do to you." And I was sitting there thinking, okay, that's DoorDash, that's not GrubHub. But I'm like, you know, I didn't get into it with her, but I'm like, thank you so much, thank you. You know, but that was funny. I thought it was kind of funny. You know.
Hey man, you know, it is what it is at this point. But like I said, you know, I know it sounds like I'm coming down super hard on DoorDash and Postmates and stuff, but it's not that I'm so much coming down hard on them. My heart goes out to the drivers that were basically blindsided, that work this every day. I mean, you got a guy like Kingfish, DoorDash is his bread and butter. He's still out there. No matter, even though with all this still going on, he's still out there killing it, doing his thing. And I got to admire that. But my thing is, I feel bad for the drivers. Is really what it is. It burns me up, you know, because like I said yesterday in my other video was, you know, people do this not for fun. We don't do this just, you know, to pass the time necessarily. We're doing this to pay for bills, you know, help our families, friends, whatever, you know, get out of debt or whatever it is. And these people are just blindly just grabbing the money and just taking it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, they tipped you $10. Let me take a couple of those, you know, even though it was meant for you. It's almost like if DoorDash told you anytime you get a cash tip, you need to take a picture of the money and then you send us half in an envelope. You know what I mean? So basically they're saying if you tip on the app, we could do whatever we want with it. You know what I mean? And that's something I have a problem with, you know?
Me too. Because it's like, we're out here, we're doing the legwork. We're making them the money, you know, we're beating up our cars and everything.
Yeah.
And there should be better treatment for the drivers.
Hell yeah, absolutely. And I don't know where this is going to go. All I do know is that the law firm's website has the form on the bottom where you can submit your story about DoorDash and what you've noticed to get in on the you know, on the whole thing. And it's just, you know, I hope that DoorDash has to give the money back to the people. You know what I mean? We're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, man. That
get this. If they would have just done the right thing to begin with, they're probably gonna have to pay the money back anyway, plus like lawyer fees, right?
Of course.
If they would have just done the right thing to begin with, they wouldn't have to. Now they got to pay extra if they got to pay us back. They got to pay their lawyers and everything.
And the thing is, it's like, even if they're going to get a defense attorney, but you know, the whole thing is what grounds do they have for a defense other than they're going to say, well, you know, we put it in the terms of service and the contract or whatever, but obviously that was never communicated properly. You know what I mean? Clearly everyone is like, oh, what? You know, so I don't know, man. All I'm going to say is I hope that I don't want DoorDash to go out of business or Postmates. I don't want them to go out of business, but I do feel that the drivers should be taken care of and compensated properly. That's all I would want. That's all I want. What do you guys think? What's everyone think in the chat?
I totally agree. You know, they should, you know, and now most likely they got to pay more now.
Right.
Like, God, you know.
And my response is almost to kind of like answer someone in the chat saying that well, basically what they said was you have no business saying DoorDash is a great company if you've only swung 3 orders. I'm not saying that DoorDash is a bad company or is a great company. What I am saying is the app is efficient. The way they pay drivers is bad. So if you think about what I'm saying, I'm not saying, oh man, I did 3 orders. It's a great company to work for. No, that's not what I'm saying. I like it because of the payouts compared to the Uber Eats payouts that I'm accustomed to, you know. But I'm not saying what they're doing is right, you know, at the end of it all. So this person want to give you a shout out, Sriracha Ace. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but it's at 2:58. I don't know if you're looking, Pete.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
At 2:58 p.m. I'm not saying that DoorDash is a great company to work for. What I'm comparing it is, I'm just comparing the payouts I received versus the payout I'm receiving now on the 3 deliveries that I have done. And the efficiency from the customer's perspective, they said my order would be here in 25 minutes and it was here in 24. That is efficient as hell.
Yeah, it is.
So even though they have shady practices, they're doing what they need to do to make customers happy. But drivers are outraged, you know, and I'm with them on that. Drivers need to be paid what they're promised, and yeah, they do promise them that they'll give them $1 and whatnot. But you know, that's a whole different story. But I do not think that's fair at all.
Absolutely. I could agree 100% with that. And, you know, to talk about what Ace is talking about, you know, oh, you've only done 3 deliveries. And exactly, like, I feel like it was definitely necessary for you to mention about how, you know, like, you just like the efficiency of the app. I only ordered from DoorDash once. My girlfriend and I ordered, I believe it was a Wendy's order like 6-7 months ago or something like that. And I didn't have a great experience with it because it was late at night. It was a bad time to really give it a good test. I would have to test it during the day. But I will tell you this. From just being in this gig economy, you know, like when you're around friends and family or whatever, I know that several people have told me when it comes to ordering food as the customer, when you put GrubHub up there, Uber Eats, and DoorDash, I have heard several people tell me that DoorDash was the more expensive one. You know what I mean? Like where like the fee was a little higher, I guess.
Exactly, Pete. They hit you for 2 fees. They hit you for a delivery fee, and there's another fee. I can't remember what the wording is, but there's like another fee basically that I guess that helps them do business or whatever, you know. Yeah.
Like Uber would call it like a booking fee. I remember.
Yeah, but that's one fee. But like DoorDash, at times I've been hit for up to like $10 or more at times in fees, you know, and it's ridiculous. And then if they say, oh, 60 to 70 minutes, in my experience, they take every bit of that 70 minutes sometimes to get the food to me. It's like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, now let me just ask, I mean, you guys as well, UDM and Tony and everyone in the chat, with knowing all of this, what we know now, would you guys still consider being DoorDash drivers? Would you still drive with DoorDash? You know, for everyone in the chat, 111 for yes, 222 for no, obviously. But between UDM and Tony, would you guys still continue with DoorDash given the circumstances now? Just curious.
Maybe to pass time in between blocks, I might. Like I would do Uber Eats still, but just to fill in that void if I got a break in blocks or something, you know.
Okay.
And sure. I'm right there with Tony. And as I said earlier, I've only done 3 deliveries on DoorDash.
Right.
You know, it's not my bread and butter. The question is, would I make that my bread and butter? No.
Hell no.
You know.
Somebody in the chat just, I got the same email, but somebody in the chat just said, did anybody else get a thing from GrubHub saying to download the new app? I saw a notification fall down on my phone here to download the new GrubHub for Drivers app. Let
me take a look right now at my email.
And I think it was Sovereign Renaissance that said that too just a minute ago. I think that was him.
Yeah. Wow. Actually, yes. It was sent 3 minutes ago at 3:02 p.m. It says action required. GrubHub for Drivers app now in App Store.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's new.
So we don't got to go searching for it. It's like in the App Store now.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys mind if I read the email real quick?
Go ahead. I'm about to search in the App Store.
Yeah. It says, hey, Pete, you're receiving this email because we noticed you're using an iOS operating system to perform deliveries with the GrubHub for Drivers app. We've released an updated version of the GrubHub for Drivers app into the Apple App Store as part of the release. You'll need to go to the App Store and download the latest version of the app in order to complete future deliveries. Oh,
what is that?
Whoa.
Now,
to avoid
instant pay?
Wow. To avoid any disruption in service, we suggest downloading the app from the App Store while not working a block and before Thursday, February 14th. Geez, thanks for the time. Wow. at that time, you'll no longer be able to use the previous GrubHub for Drivers app. Whoa. This is huge. This is huge.
Are we going to get instant pay in this new app?
I don't know. This must be the new app. I guess they're done with the beta testing. Wow. Look,
Is it the new app?
Yeah, I mean, look at UDM's screen right there. That must be. Let me see. Wow.
I'm using both of my phones, so I can't do it right now, but.
No. It's okay. I'm opening up my app store. Yeah, look at that.
I'm going to download it, see what it say. See what it looks like.
This is actually really exciting right now. This took a very interesting turn.
Yeah. We talking about DoorDash and DoorDash using tips to pay drivers, and now GrubHub app in the store. Whoa!
Yeah, there it is. GrubHub for drivers. There it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have many firsts on the driver's den here.
Dude, they gotta put BZ in these pictures, man. He's the representative of GrubHub. I want to see BZ on the front. I want to see BZ in one of these pictures holding up the bag. It's like, don't use the Uber Eats bag. GrubHub bag only. Dude, instant pay might be here. Hold on. I'm gonna check this out right now.
You go over here. Okay.
But I think they would announce it if there was to be instant pay. Wouldn't you think?
I don't know, man.
Nah, I don't think so.
No?
They're bad with communication, man.
Yeah, true. Obviously, they're giving us a 1-day notice.
Wow, look at I'm logging in right now. It's version 3.32. No, everything looks the same. I mean, it's the same app.
Oh, well, shit.
Everything looks the same.
Do we get it too excited for nothing? The difference here is they're just putting it in the App Store now.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Wow.
Well, yeah. About damn time they put it in the damn App Store.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's cool.
Year? Are we getting that new app this year?
What?
There's supposedly a new GrubHub app I heard about.
Yeah, I mean, but wouldn't this have made sense for this to be the new app? Man, yeah. What a buzzkill right now.
We got all excited over nothing.
But I'll tell you right now, it's still showing the existing app that I had originally, and it just is like a clone of it. It's just an updated version.
You got to restart your phone?
I don't know. Not sure. It's a good question. But anyway,
well, apparently this thing right here, it looks the same.
Yeah.
They said 3.32, but it's the same app.
Same thing. So I think the only difference is that it's in the App Store now.
And that's funny as hell.
Wow.
UDM, let me ask you, go to the pay summary. Like I said, because I haven't worked because I'm sick, I can't see my pay summary. But
it looks the same.
It doesn't show the breakdown?
No.
That's what we're talking about. That was the whole point.
Right, exactly.
Trini, thank you for letting us know at least.
Was that Trini or was that Sovereign? I
thought it was Trini. I thought Trini, okay. Trini, Sovereign, both of them were talking about it actually. And look, I just got the text from them too. GrubHub for Drivers is now in the Apple App Store. Get the latest version if you haven't already. So I guess they're suiting up for something new here. But wow, look, this took a very interesting turn here. Wow. See,
I got all happy, man.
You know what? GrubHub is revving up their engines right now because they're saying DoorDash is under the gun. We got to get more GrubHub drivers, I guess. I don't know.
They're watching us right now. They're like, let's do something exciting.
Could you imagine that? They're like, wow, we're going to launch it right during their live stream.
And then they're all, look at those suckers getting all happy over nothing.
I was getting excited. I had goosebumps. I was like, this is it. The new app.
April Fools, I guess.
Way early, a little early.
Yeah.
Android gets it. You know, I don't even understand why Android gets the apps a lot faster than Apple. And they say like they have to beta test on Android because Android gives them the most problems.
I'll tell you, well, just from a techie standpoint, the Google Play Store, they let any Joe Schmo upload whatever they want on there. Because trust me, I can tell you that from experience. When I had my very first Droid, I had the Droid X1, and that was my first smartphone touchscreen. I downloaded like any and every app that there was, like, you know, all sorts of stuff. And I would get viruses. My phone broke and it would keep restarting. Like it was a mess. But on the App Store, it's a very stringent like screening process. Like they don't let just anybody or anything get onto the App Store. Like you have to have like special credentials, and some people even need an LLC to sign up with it and everything. So that's the whole reason why it's easier to test on the Google Play Store.
Oh.
So yeah, that's why App Store always takes longer. But anyway, I think we pretty much said everything there is to say about DoorDash, because now I want to talk about the GrubHub app.
And I just got a text right now. GrubHub for drivers is now in the App Store.
Yeah, that's the one I just got at 310.
Yep. Now here's something. Here's something that's interesting about the GrubHub for app. I mean, the GrubHub for drivers app. I'm pretty sure when you downloaded it, Pete, when you open it up on the iPhone, it asks for the settings. You want this app to run in the background, like constantly use your location,
right,
while it's at all times, while you have the app open, and not at all, right?
Right.
What? Why? I mean, I get it. I get it for the GPS, but what if I say while I'm using it only?
Because who the heck explained it to me?
You get what I'm saying?
I think my driver specialist told me about it like a year ago, saying how like if you don't allow it at all times, it could interfere. Like let's say you're like in a building making a delivery or whatever, and you don't physically have the app open. Like, because the app will, if you don't have like the app open or whatever, like it'll like close out the whole thing. But no. Because when you're toggled available, it doesn't log you out. It's only when you're not logged in. So I'm not sure, actually. I don't know.
But when you listen to like the lingo, it says, would you like it to continue using your location when you're not using it? Or when you're using it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I almost feel like it's a default setting. I don't know if it's something that GrubHub set. It almost sounds like it's like an iPhone setting, like a default iPhone setting. I don't know, like, because it has like 3 options. It says like cancel, always allow, and like not always allow.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I don't know. I mean, again, I got nothing to hide. So it's just, my thing is I always put always allow because I don't want any interference or whatever. And then because we all know, I mean, definitely the downside with GrubHub is when like you don't receive an order or get a ghost order, or where the cowbell rings and it doesn't pop up. Like that's one thing that burns me up with the GrubHub app, is like they got to get rid of that little yellow drop down menu thing, because that thing is always buggy. It's always giving me issues where you have to hit view. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be like that. It should just come up on the whole screen or something like that. Like, do you want to accept it? Yes or no? Not like that little drop down yellow thing and you hit view. You know what I'm talking about? Like it just, they should just do away with that.
Say, yeah, basically, yeah, I get it, you know. Or do you guys find like when you're still like driving, like you're en route to a drop off, they always know when you're close to the customer, and then they give you another one while you're driving. You're like, shit, you gotta pull over now.
You know how many potential accidents I almost got into because I was just like, I'll be coming around a corner or something like that, and then the cowbell goes off, and my GPS is on the screen. So then I got to hit the push notification, which puts me out of the GPS into the GrubHub app. And then I'm sitting there like waiting and driving at the same time. I'm like, hey, want to have the little yellow drop down? And then sometimes it doesn't even show up. But when it does, I got to hit view. Then I got to hit accept. So basically it's almost like, hey, we're going to send you an order like on the way, but you're going to have to pull over. You know how many times I've been on the highway and that happens? Like, it's, in my opinion, it's dangerous when they send you that extra order. I don't know.
If they know your location, they should know when you're stopped. Maybe push that through to you when you're stopped.
Maybe.
You know?
Well, yeah. I think none of these apps, though, they don't care about us driving and sending a notification. You know, it's like not Postmates, not Uber Eats. Uber Eats, they will send you another one while you're driving at 60 miles per hour. Like,
it's a mess, dude.
Well, the only saving
hey.
grace with that is they give you a decent amount of time to get pulled over if you have to. They don't just like they give you a good amount of time to accept the order, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Uber Eats, when you literally have like 3 seconds to accept that damn order, man.
Like 30 seconds.
At least, I think DoorDash, you have 90 seconds.
Yes.
GrubHub, do you have 90 seconds on GrubHub?
I think it's 90 seconds.
Yeah. I don't know how long exactly.
I believe it is.
Like when I hear the cowbell, sometimes I'm dealing with a customer and I have my AirPods in my ear and I hear the cowbell. I'm like, okay, well, I got 90 seconds. So, all right, you have a great day. Oh, well, what about it? Well, I have another delivery. I have to go.
Dude, it's so funny. It's so funny that it happened. About 2 weeks ago, I was dropping off an order. It's so funny you should say that. I was dropping off an order in front of this apartment complex, and the customer came out, which I love because they were tracking me on the app. Just so everyone knows, GrubHub customers can track you on the app. They all can do it. If you are picking up, especially from fast food places, they can track you because people are still like, what? I had no idea. So they know. So anyway, the guy's waiting out front, so I don't have to go inside, which I love, saves time. I pull up and I find out it's one of my old managers from when I worked at a country club when I was a kid. And he recognized me and I recognized him. And I was like, oh man, what's going on? So we start talking and, I hadn't marked the order as delivered yet. So I'm out of the car. I hand him his food and we're just chit chatting. We're talking. And then the cowbell is going off like crazy. And I'm trying not to be rude to him. And I'm just like, well, that's one. That's two, and I'm like, well, looks like I'm just missing orders right now, so I totally understand. It's like, it just gets super inconvenient.
Well, how many times has this happened to you? You got a delivery bag in your hand, you got a tray full of drinks, and the cowbell goes off, and you're like, damn it.
You know what? We're going to all have to get Apple Watches or something. They're going to have Apple Watch compatibility so we can accept and reject orders from the Apple Watch.
Or yeah, hey Siri, accept order for me, please.
Wow. Yeah. Imagine that. If you could have Siri start accepting orders for you or whatever. That would be interesting, right?
Yep.
That could get dangerous, but interesting.
One thing I noticed with the app, though, going back to the little notification that comes down to view the order. Yeah. Sometimes I would hear the cowbell and I wouldn't see it. I wanted to tell you this, but what I realized is, let's say we're in this part, right? Right? Yeah. And you're in your task menu and you're not seeing the order pop up, but you heard the cowbell. Right. What I would do is I would open it back up and hit tasks again and let it refresh and it pops up. Yeah, you could do that. That'll work. So.
Hey, Pete, remember what a long time ago I was having trouble with ghost orders?
Yeah.
I think this is something a lot of people know now. I turn off my Wi-Fi and I haven't had that problem since when I'm working.
Like you actually physically turn off like the little Wi-Fi button on your phone?
Before I start my blocks, yes, I turned it all off, and I've noticed I have not had a ghost order since.
Yeah, because here now, let me kind of give you a little quick thing on that. Something I've noticed just over the years from having, devices that connect to Wi-Fi. If you remember those, I don't know if people still use them as much anymore, but you remember the Linksys routers, like LINKSYS? Linksys routers, if you remember back in the day, the default name for it was Linksys. And if you had one at home, no password protection or whatever, and you connected to it, if you were somewhere else, if you were at a friend's house and they had a Linksys router that was not password protected, your phone or device or laptop would automatically connect to their internet because of the same name. So while you're driving around and while you're going in and out of buildings and stuff, especially offices and restaurants and places where there's tons and tons of people, there's so many Wi-Fi signals and your phone might be trying to connect to all of them. You know what I mean? Or all different ones, things, maybe the phone gets confused, which can totally screw you on getting orders, and it's happened to me plenty of times, especially what about when you're in an elevator and you lose service and the cowbell goes off and you can't accept it, So, I mean, there's all sorts of situations.
You know what I catch a lot, and it's garbage for it doesn't work very well. How there's, cable internet.
Yeah.
I get like ours is called Xfinity out here, our
Right.
cable thing, and I'll the app won't be working right, and I'll look, it'll be like connected to some Xfinity signal somewhere, and I'm like, oh, So yeah, that's the way I can make sure I turn that stuff off,
Exactly. Like UDM, I think you have like Comcast down in Florida or
Well, we're
something.
Comcast too. Yeah, we're Comcast also. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have Comcast, we have AT&T, Uverse, and which is great news because my complex only allowed Uverse, and it didn't work too well here, And now they allowed Xfinity, so which is Comcast. So
Right. Exactly. Hey, what's going on, Bam Bam? No limitation ride shares here. What's going on? And now, I mean, we totally veered from this whole DoorDash thing. Like I said, I think at this point, we can kind of put the DoorDash thing to bed. Just mainly for the fact that I think everything has been said that needs to be said. And I don't necessarily want to dive back into it unless there's some big update. You know what I mean? There's no need to, I guess, keep hammering on it. I just wanted this to be like a final send off for the DoorDash situation, until I guess we get more information. Does anyone, UDM or Tony, have anything else you want to say about the DoorDash thing? Anybody in the chat have any questions real quick, that you want to throw in there? Because we've been on for 45 minutes now.
Hashtag fair treatment for drivers,
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's what it comes down to. Like, put the drivers first a little bit, you know what I mean? Because without the drivers, you don't have a business.
Yeah. And I'm right there with you guys. I keep going back to that pay because now I kind of feel bad about the dashes that I've known for a while. I remember when I was doing Uber Eats, and then I transitioned over to GrubHub. Maybe like 2 or 3 months in on GrubHub, I had a subscriber telling me that they got on DoorDash and they love it. They made like this amount of money per week, and I didn't know that all that was happening back then.
Yeah.
If I knew, I wish I knew, I would have, let people know about it. But I heard about, I guess, you know what it is? I did not look into it because I was hearing so many good things about DoorDash. Like, oh my gosh, payouts are great. Do DoorDash Drive. I just never really looked into it as something bad because people actually love doing it. And people actually choose DoorDash over GrubHub. That's why I did the GrubHub versus DoorDash thing, And it was a serious thing. But all in all, man, yeah, I agree with you, brother. Like, I'm not gonna mention any more unless any more video. I'm not gonna do any more videos about DoorDash until there's like some big update,
Right?
Because it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, I mean, I feel like everything has been said that needs to be said. It's clearly, they put their foot in their mouth, and now they're, they made their bed, now they got to lay in it. At this point, and like honestly, I'm surprised it went along as far as it did. It's a shame. And like I said, I have personally on my channel, there's a lot of folks that want to be on GrubHub, but it's not available in their market, and all they have is Uber Eats and DoorDash. So they were pumped when DoorDash hit because Uber Eats, they couldn't make the kind of money they wanted to. And, my heart goes out to these people now that were like, oh, at least we have DoorDash. And then this happened. They dropped this bomb, Yeah. Exactly, Trini. If you remember that video I posted with the notipdoordash.com. So definitely, guys, check that out if you want to get informed, more specifically on this whole lawsuit thing. And I promise to bring you guys any information, as soon as possible. Whenever I find anything out, and I'm sure it goes the same for Tony and UDM as well.
My question is, if they do have to pay out, how are they going to base it? Probably on time in or orders delivered or.
I'm assuming this would make the most sense. Any money that was meant to go to the driver, I mean, what do you think? They have a list of all the orders ever delivered, I'm sure, by driver or whatever. All they got to do is go in there and see if the customer tipped, X amount of dollars, no questions asked, that should be given back to the driver, like into their, a bank account immediately or whatever. That's how I feel they should do it. But again, there's legal stuff, so I don't know how it works.
I hope it's not shady, because I've heard of class, like the company I work for my full-time job, there was a class action and I was part of it. Do you know what the company did? Instead of paying out money, they gave us gift cards to the store that I work at So the money just goes back to them.
Brilliant, brilliant, but
DoorDash
brilliant,
credits,
but,
you know, they better not pay out like DoorDash credits. That would be shady, man.
yeah, could you imagine? Oh my God, could you imagine if DoorDash did the same thing and was like, hey guys, have $500 of free dashed food on us or something? Can you imagine
exactly.
that? Wow, that's slick with the store credit. That was a big thing. Like, remember the rule? I don't know. Again, I hardly go in stores anymore now, Amazon, but I remember the rule was no receipt, store credit. Remember that?
Yeah, that's how it is in my job.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Enjoy $1,000 dashed on us. You know, it's gonna be shady. You know,
it is shady, and in my opinion, that's not good enough. Like you said, it's just going right back to them. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, but it's shady. It's wrong.
Now, I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but wouldn't that be messed up if it did?
Tony says, I'll take it. Tony said, I'll take it.
I want to say that there were questions directed towards Tony in the chat, and I wasn't sure if it was to me or to him. So if you guys have a question directed to like maybe LMDU or something, if you can, because I wasn't sure.
It gets confusing. I know that because UDM is UDM, Pete is me. You know what I mean? And there's no other Pete in here ever. So Tony's always been an issue. And there's a few Tonys, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's 2 or 3. So we'll have to. It's always tough to decipher who. But like I said, we'll kind of have to see where this goes. And like I said, I don't want these companies to go out of business. We need these companies because this is the future. Like, I forget who was talking about. I think it was the Entrepreneur or somebody was saying how rideshare is not necessarily the future. It's this delivery stuff is the future. You know what I mean? It's changing everything. Pretty soon, I'm assuming almost anything you need will be able to be ordered. You know what I mean? We're almost there already. So we'll see what happens.
I'll say this last thing, guys. You out there that hate DoorDash, you gave it the nickname DoorTrash. It's still a platform you can use to make some decent money.
Right.
So even if you might be in your feelings a little bit right now about DoorDash, let's just hope for the best. Someone chose to fight for you, and hopefully they win, so you could actually be paid 100% of your tips, including a base pay, and then 100% of your tips. Let's just be optimistic here and just hope for the best, and let's just kind of like change the way we look at DoorDash a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking, like Grub, all these companies are gonna have some kind of thing they're trying to do, kind of like slip under the table, but it's still like you guys talking about the GrubHub contribution.
Yeah.
Like Uber Eats, oh my gosh, Uber Eats, they don't pay us our tips. Like there's always something with one of these companies, and there's gonna be a class action lawsuit against them, and let's just hope that we win. And that's it. That's all I really got to say, man.
We just got to win in the end. Like I said before, and like everyone knows, without us, these companies don't exist. They have nothing.
Exactly.
Because it's not their corporate employees doing the deliveries,
It's our blood, sweat, and tears,
Absolutely. Justice for the drivers, man. That's what I'm all about here,
Now,
exactly.
I'm gonna ask one last question, and then I'll let you have it, Pete, and I'll just sit in the back. Even though you are hearing so much about DoorDash right now and the lawsuit and paying you with your tips, how many dashes here are still going to do DoorDash until all of this is resolved?
111 for yes, 222 for no. I was gonna say
it's one of those things where you utilize it maybe for a time killer only. Maybe not rely on it right now.
Right, exactly. Like in my opinion, GrubHub is the one with the best payouts. And if GrubHub is slow, turn on DoorDash. I'm not saying don't do DoorDash. I'm just saying maybe not rely on it as your bread and butter. Like I like how UDM puts that. Like supplement when it's slow. That's all.
If it's slow and you got to make $50 more for the day, well, turn on DoorDash.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, hey, again, who knows? Maybe this. They always say When one door closes, another door opens. Perhaps if DoorDash doesn't go out of business because of this, maybe their new business model will be great. Maybe they'll be more like GrubHub, and then they'll have bigger payouts than GrubHub. Anything can happen. Sometimes you got to get smacked on the wrist to make a change, for the better. So
yeah.
I like UDM's way of looking at it. Be optimistic. That's all I'm going to say. Like I said, I just hope justice will be served for the drivers that had money taken from them. That's number one most important thing, in my opinion.
Yep.
So on that note, I think we covered it all. And, guys, make sure you check your email for the GrubHub, the new GrubHub app, which is on the App Store. Tony,
the old app on the new store.
Yeah. the same old app, but now on the App Store for your convenience. Tony Tone, we cut him off earlier. He had me in tears, dude. He's like, man, y'all just look like you got socks for Christmas. When you opened up the gift, and it's just like, oh man. But anyway, guys, you know the deal. UDM, Tony, any closing last words here before we wrap this up?
Keep hustling, keep bustling.
That's it. UDM.
All I got is just be safe out there, guys, and go make that money. That's it.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on The Driver's Den, episode 13. We keep cranking them out every single week. UDM is next week. So please make sure you are subscribed to UDM. Make sure you are subscribed to Tony, Team LMDU. Those links are in the description down below. Kindly leave a big thumbs up down below. Let's see if we can go for 100 likes. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, with that notification bell turned on. And that's it, guys. Get that money, get that honey. Keep hustling, keep bustling. And we'll see you guys next time right here on Pay to Drive on The Driver's Den. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.